Hello, everybody. It's Brian here with an unplanned, unrehearsed, unscheduled, and extremely rare Friday night video. In this video, I'm going to tell you what I did today. I'm going to describe a quick trip to a record store. I'm going to talk about a record I bought and give what I would consider to be a calm rant, and then talk about the record a little bit, and particularly one of the songs on the record. So first, yes, I went to work today. Sometimes I do have to go on site. About midday, I decided to finish my workday at home. So I made a quick pit stop on the way home, no more than 5 minutes, in and out, to grab a record that recently was re-released, something I've wanted for a long time. I came home. I went to my local pool. As I mentioned in the past, my exercise, apart from cycling to and from work, is swimming, so I try to swim 3 times a week. Headed down to the pool, did the number of laps that I had planned to do today, came back, finished work, and put on the record that I bought. And that's when the problem began. So let me just tell you what I'm talking about. So this is a CD of Death Cab for Cutie. It's called Transatlanticism. Came out in 2003. I've had the CD for quite a while. I do love the artwork on this cover. I mean, look at that. It's some sort of bird with, I guess, yarn. It's all twisted around. I would assume that this bird, male or female, is trying to make a nest but end up making a mess. It looks a bit mournful. Maybe things aren't going well. The booklet itself is actually quite good. Apart from the lyrics and some artwork, it has this kind of long fold out, more bird stuff here. Very nice package. I really enjoy this record very much, and coincidentally I was watching Mark's channel, Mad for Vinyl, and he recently showed a 7-inch single from Death Cab for Cutie and noted that maybe they don't get enough attention, maybe people don't talk about them as much as they should, and I think I agree with him on that. So this record was released on vinyl back in 2003 when it came out. Death Cab for Cutie are from Washington State. I forget the town they're from, but they're from Washington State. So it was released on vinyl. I didn't buy it then because that was in the CD era still for me. And it has been re-released a couple of times. I think in the mid-teens and then maybe once in 2022. But anyway, the new version came out. So on my way home, I stopped at a local shop after price checking online and picked up this copy, a not cheap copy of Transatlanticism by Death Cab for Cutie. This was not cheap at all. Let me just show you that. That's really a large. I don't usually pay that much, but the sticker on the front, on the cellophane, says Death Cab for Cutie's Breakthrough 2003 Double LP Masterpiece. It has a download code for the entire record plus some album demos. So there are 3 statements here. 100 best albums of the 2000s, Rolling Stone, so they included this album on that list. The decade's 50 most important recordings, NPR, include that on this list, and 50 best albums of the decade from Paste magazine. So it was included on all these 3 lists, and I think justifiably so. It's a fantastic record. It's a concept record about long-distance romance, and a lot of the songs center around that idea. So it comes with a sticker with a download code on the back, which I have not used. It has a nice full-size booklet similar to the CD with this great artwork and all the lyrics to the tracks here. This is a really nice booklet to have. There are 2 records in, say, fairly good quality polyline sleeves, pressed at 33 RPM. So I put this record on, and let me give you the good news first. The good news is that sides B, C, and D play fairly well. There are some ticks, pops, that sort of thing, and I don't know if it was dust or not, or maybe imperfections in the pressing. However, the sad news is that side A has a significant amount of surface noise. I'm going to try and show that to you, show the record to you. Now you might see in the dead wax there is some, I don't know, this looks dirty, so I did clean it. I cleaned it and tried again, and right from the very moment the stylus touches the lead in, through this entire side. There is a large amount of surface noise that really overwhelms the music. This is a gatefold, but I haven't taken the cellophane off, so the wrap off, so I'm not going to show you the gatefold because I'm going to leave it like this because I've emailed the store to describe my issue with this record, and I'm waiting for them to reply, which may not happen until the weekend or Monday. I don't know what they'll do because they have a statement about defective products. I don't know whether they would consider this defective, so I thought I'd send a message rather than taking it back and seeing what would happen. So I've sent the message. I'm waiting to find out. But since we're on the topic of Death Cab for Cutie and this record, I thought I would take some moments to describe why I like specifically one song on this record. The whole record is really amazing, but for me there's one song, the title track, which I think is the centerpiece of the record. It's a very long track, and I think it's just an absolute masterpiece. So, as I mentioned, it's a concept album about long-distance relationships or long-distance romance, and my understanding is that the term transatlanticism has been used now to describe people in the situation of having a long-term romance. So let's talk about that song. 7 minutes and 55 seconds. It starts very quietly, and it builds throughout the song. So it starts with a gentle piano, the sound of a train or trains in the distance, and it seems like maybe that's a metaphor for separation, for traveling somewhere to get to somewhere. And the singing starts. I'm going to read the first verse. The Atlantic was born today, and I'll tell you how. The clouds above opened up and let it out. I was standing on the surface of a perforated sphere when the water filled every hole, and thousands upon thousands made an ocean, making islands where no islands should go. Oh no. And I think anyone reading or hearing that would think of separation because of water filling a space between you with islands that may represent people or may represent land masses that you can't get easily from one to the other. I think it's a really interesting use of language, and the perforated sphere I find quite interesting too. At about 1 minute and 34 seconds, a guitar comes in. It's not a rocking guitar. It's not breaking something. It's a very subtle, but it has a very interesting hook. I think it really works well. So that's laid on top of the piano, and we have the vocals. So the next lyrics are, those people were overjoyed, they took to their boats. I thought it less like a lake and more like a moat. And again, I have the feeling that the moat is there to emphasize something in which something is preventing you from getting access. So as we know, a moat around the castle, you're not easily breached. So there's a moat keeping someone out or keeping someone in. The rhythm of my footsteps crossing flatlands to your door has been silenced forevermore. The distance is quite simply much too far for me to row. It seems farther than ever before. I'm not sure if that's a literal thing, if we're supposed to think literally it's too far to row, or if that's a metaphorical thing. So this whole high idea of distance could be geographical, it could be emotional. I mean, the person could live across town and maybe there's this gulf that can't be bridged. I think it's very interesting. The whole idea of putting an Atlantic Ocean between two people, whether that Atlantic Ocean is real or whether it's imagined, I think is quite interesting. At about 3 minutes, we get the first occurrence of this phrase, I need you so much closer, which he sings 8 times over a period of a minute. I need you so much closer, over and over. And at that point, we also get drums, because until that point, we've only had vocals, piano, and the guitar, and now we bring in the drums, which brings us more of a crescendo starting at this point. There's an instrumental break that goes on for about 1 minute and 50 seconds, and then we have 4 more occurrences of I need you so much closer. And I think this is riveting. This part of the song, I think, is absolutely riveting. And then there's another short break, and then he sings So Come On, 4 times. And I think by that point we're fully into the crescendo. Now, I don't want to suggest that this is a rock song, that it's really rocking out. No, there's just like more, the instruments are louder, he's singing louder, and it's coming to sort of this final part of the song, and then it kind of fades out. But I think the song is actually a masterpiece. Now, my challenge to you, or my suggestion to you, is that you stream this song, and not just stream it and sort of listen casually, but put your headphones on, turn the lights down, close your eyes, relax, commit yourself to listening to 7 minutes and 55 seconds of this song. And I'd be really interested to hear what you think of the song if you don't know it. I mean, maybe you know the song and you're willing to say right away that you like it or you don't, but I'd be really interested to hear what you make of this song. Just take the time to listen to it, and really listen to it, not this thing where you kind of put it on in the background. So anyway, when I get the response from the record shop, I will then have to decide whether I want a new copy or whether, to risk getting a new one, or whether I will just, I don't know what to do, because I'm worried that they're all like that. Maybe I just got a bad one. So I will report back on that. Incidentally, if this video hasn't gone on long enough already, I do plan to make a series of videos on epic tracks, because I was watching a video by Norman Mazzy a while ago, and he did a video on epic tracks, and it reminded me that I had a playlist I created years ago which had something like 40 of what I considered to be epic tracks, and this one I would consider to be an epic track. So let this video also serve as the introduction to my epic tracks series, which I will do maybe no more than 5 songs at a time, hopefully soon. So anyway, that's just a long way of saying I got a bum record. So my calm rant, I'm going to try and take it back, and again, listen to that song, tell me what you think, and have a good weekend, and thanks for watching.